It is the end of day 7 of the kitchen reno. Oh my goodness, they got so much done today, even though it's not what was planned, but it's basically what I'm figuring out is there's a lot of trades working on this, and it's whenever they can get the people from the different trades, right? So take what you can when you can. So much progress today. I just could not get over the progress. So let's go in here. They didn't actually advance on the paint itself, but they were able to get the concrete guy back in. So he did all of the edging along the bottom here. And he confirmed that this room is not going to have any baseboards. It's just going to have the paint straight down to the floor. And I am delighted about that because the baseboards are like an inch, a good solid inch. So now I'm not going to have that at the bottom of the right there. So my pantry is going to fit flush against the wall there, which means everything's going to move over an inch. And this means that my door isn't going to run into my fridge anymore. It's going to be fantastic. Same thing over here. I'm going to gain an inch with the metal table. And then that means that that little cart that was really sticking out shouldn't stick out as much as it was. It's going to be great. So I'm really, really happy about that. We did have one little hiccup. So they're doing all the electricity. The other thing they did today was they started passing the conduits and putting in the boxes and everything. And they were reinstalling the original outlets, and I said, wait a minute, what are you guys doing? Was in the original quote that we're supposed to change that switch, and this box here, and obviously this was not passed on, this was not remembered, but I remember being very, very clear when we were talking about doing the original quote and the electrical work and everything, that this box had to go because it doesn't work very well. So he says he's gonna look into that for me, and it'll probably happen. So I was kind of hoping to get that whole area down there pulled and buried, but at the same time I'm not willing to pay for it, and so it's fine. I'm gonna live with it. It's just getting to a habit of passing a cloth so that it doesn't collect the dust. Yeah, definitely I'm not, because again this is not meant to be the forever reno. I have no interest in getting that dug up if I'm gonna have to pay a lot of extra for it. But moving these made a lot of sense just because of where I plug things in. And then I think I already talked about the backsplashes. So as far as I know, I'm not getting backsplashes, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else today. No, just continuing doing the bit of the bottom, and there's a dip here. I'm gonna have to talk to them about that. There's a big, significant dip here. I have to remember. I mean, I know they're gonna polish it, it's gonna go level, but every time I walk in here, I go, man, there's a big dip there. And so it was a really good day for my friend Jam, the photographer, because he messaged me around noon 30, and he says, I cannot get my Gmail to come up on my new phone. Can you please find some time to come and help me with that? So I say no to him a lot because I'm very, very busy. And I said, today I had nothing else. I said, come on over, I'll have a look at it. So, and then, so he's like, oh, wow, I can't believe it. I can just come right over. And then I also messaged him back and I said, bring a pizza, please. Because he always has frozen pizzas in his freezer. And he's always saying, come on over for a pizza. And I don't have time to come over. So I knew that he'd be really happy to bring a pizza over, which he did. And I'm just going to show you the pizza because I just want to remind myself of this for posterity. Because I really like Italian sausage on my pizza, and it's hard to get here and it's very expensive. So now I know I can get it at the supermarket. I still would much rather have a real pizza like from the wood oven in the village here, but they don't have the Italian sausage on it. So just if I have a sausage craving, this is definitely cheaper than what I've been doing in the past. Interesting. I wonder why they've got a little black circle there. And then he was wondering how I was going to cook it. He got here and he's like, well, how are we going to cook it? Well, the pizza, my new oven comes with a pizza stone, and the pizza was actually smaller than the pizza stone. So it worked great. It just fit in there, no problem. And then we ended up having to go sit upstairs because the guys were making a lot of noise, chiseling and everything. And then we had to cut the power because they were working on the electricity in the kitchen. But thankfully, because the power here is so whack, we still had the ceiling fan upstairs going, even if the little plug-in fan on the floor didn't work. And as he was heading out the door, he offered me, he's a photographer. He did the painting and the photograph in my office. And he had a whole bunch of old stock that he's just, trying to get foist off on people that's just not selling. And he offered me one. And I've been looking for something for the guest room in the blue. And he showed me this one. This is from Lake Tahoe. And it's like massive root from a tree, almost like petrified, and it's got the blue that'll look really good in the room, and it's got pulling the green from the hallway. So I saw that and I thought that'll look really sharp above the bed in the guest room. So I'm gonna go get that framed and I'll put that up there. I'm very, very thankful for that. And I've got another one of his that I want to get framed, but very, very thoughtful. Different, like, you know, you can't find something like that in the store, which is, I like to, you know, to support local artists and stuff. I'm not a big photography fan. I'd rather have paintings, but I like to support him, and yeah, and he's always got really interesting stuff. So anyway, so it's been very, very hot because we've had the power off all day and no fans, no nothing. So I am going to jump in the pool, and the guys surprised me by saying they'll be back tomorrow to continue working on the paint. They're not going to finish, obviously. They're only going to do like a half a day tomorrow. But even if they can get a little bit further ahead, that'd be great. And they've apparently got my sink, which I don't know where they got it or how much they paid, but they've got the sink. I had to send more money today. I owed $24,000 on the original quote, and they asked for half of that today. So now there's like $12,000 outstanding. And I don't know if there's any more extras, so it'll be interesting. They're being very good about the accounting. Like my other guy, I have to say, my other guy was very, I always knew what I was paying with the other guy. I did a lot less upfront. It was a lot more paying as I went, and he would tell me exactly what I was paying and give me receipts. Here, it's not so obvious to do that because a lot of this is just the labor and it's, big amounts of material. There's not a lot of like little things that they're buying that they need to account for. You know, like outlets cost what they cost, and concrete costs what it costs, paint costs what it costs. There was just like the furniture here was like, that's like a custom, like an artist piece. So a lot harder to do the accounting. So when I sent money, like when I sent the money the first time, I had a layout, I had a detailed list of what was included in the quote, and then what the 100% price was, and then 60% that I was sending was 60% of that, and then 20% of that today, and then there's another 20% left. And then I also sent the extra amount that was the extras, the balance for the sink that was a little bit extra, the water heater, paint, etc. So I know where my money's going, so it's not a problem at all. It's just going really fast, and I'm just hoping that it's not that once we get the next 12,000 requests, that it's not going to be another like 20,000 on top of that in terms of extras, you know. But I don't expect it to go like that. I don't think so. I think it's I think they probably quoted a little bit high. I got the impression, and that they're loose in the budget is just what I'm getting as an impression. And I just realized they did do a second coat over here today. I can see it now because you can barely see. I mean, you can still see it, especially the iPhone, but it's going to need a third coat, I think. Because I'm thinking the fridge is going to be over there, but the fridge, you can still see half of that above. So I will talk to them about that. I might just say, you know what, just give me a third coat over the top part of that wall, and don't worry about the rest of the wall. We'll see how much paint there's left. But and then over here, they're not going to have to worry about as many coats because it's going to be a much more even finish over here. So very exciting. Can't wait to see it all done.